ho, jabronis! We are back for another episode of Punch Drunk Nerd, the podcast where three friends, three caballeros, three amigos come together to talk about nerd shit. We're talking about nerd news. We're talking about what we're into. We're talking about maybe a movie of the week, except this week, we do not have our friend Ed Ball, unfortunately. So sadly, it's just me, Luis Gonzalez, and of course,
Miguel Sanchez.
That's right. There's only two of us this time. Now, it's interesting because there was a time when you were gone.
I was.
And then Ed was here kind of, doing all the work. And now Ed's gone and you take up the lift. So,
I've got big shoes to fill.
You do.
Fingers crossed.
A little sneak peek, a little spoiler alert for fans. There will be a week where I will be unavailable because I will be going to Comic-Con. I'll be there all week. Woo! So go to @PunchDrunkNerd. Maybe I'll send some exclusive clippies. Something like that, but who knows? I'm going to try my best to infiltrate into the convention floor. We'll see how far that goes, but in that week, it'll just be Miguel and Ed. So, be kind. Maybe they'll do a better job. And
no, we're going to fuck it right up.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to listen to a brand new episode of Punch Drunk Nerd where I'm not in. I'm like, ooh, yeah, what is coming up this week,
That'll be our most annoying episode because me and Ed will nonstop giggle the entire time, but we'll probably spend a week straight going what should we do? Let's plan something good. And then it'll just be a bunch of bullshit the entire time.
I'm going to have notes. I'm going to have Louis notes. I'll be like, here's my opinion about that. Or
first off, why was it 4 hours long?
I mean, fuck it. They're making movies that long now, 4 hours, 5 hours. God. Why can't our podcast be? But let's not get ahead of ourselves, everybody. Okay, not yet. You got to tune in for the show. Remember, we're here every week, coming out Fridays pretty consistently now. I feel like that's the day. Coming out Fridays everywhere. Please help us in the algorithm. Okay, there's no sponsors in this one, but we are our own sponsors here. Okay, this episode of Punch Drunk Nerd is brought to you by Punch Drunk Nerd. Please leave a comment. Please leave 5 stars on the podcast. The algorithm needs us. Dude, it's real.
Subscribe, smash
everything.
That button.
I've been holding back on saying this jibber jabber for a bit. We're on episode 18. I think I'm fine with saying like and subscribe. Hit the comment, ring the bell, notification. Do all you can to help us out. We are a measly.
I tell you what.
Yeah.
If you write a review, we'll read it on the podcast. Okay.
Exactly.
We'll give you a shout out. We'll tag you on Instagram. Let's go.
We'll do. Yeah. That's a good idea. We should find ways to credit people on social Instagram.
Bro,
send us an idea and we'll do that one. You know what I mean? Why don't you brainstorm for us? But here we are, episode 18. Ooh. What we got forward? We got the news of the week, of course, but there, 2 movies came out that we haven't seen, Elvis and unfortunately Minions grew. So we're not going to review that this week. But next week we'll be talking about Thor, of course. And then we'll end this episode with what we are into. Let's jump right into it. I talked about the Minions. First point of topic. We're going to talk about the Gentleminions. All right.
Ooh.
The kids going out there dressed in suits to their nines, watching a Minions movie, and it's hilarious and it's amazing. And I wish I could join. I don't know
what I didn't anticipate when it came down to making our top 10 summer movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was the fact that teenagers love to fuck shit up. You know
Absolutely.
What I mean? They love, you know what I mean? Young people just like to cling on to something and blow it up for no reason, just because it's funny. And I wasn't thinking that at all about Minions. I was like, yeah, kids my kids' age will want to go see this movie and whatever. You know what I mean? Lightyear's gonna blow everyone out of the water.
I mean, these kids that are coming out, they must have seen Despicable Me when they were babies. So this is hell yeah, this is our time. But I think it's just hilarious. It's meme culture come to life. And honestly, I wasn't really going to talk about it. I was just going to let it live in the internet. But I think what really caught my attention, and I don't know how you feel about this, Miguel, but cinemas started pushing people out. If you were dressed as a Gentleminion. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Why are you ruining a good time from these Gentleminions? What's the deal? And then I guess I saw some videos of them really causing a ruckus.
They're disruptive.
I saw a mob, how sometimes when you're a kid, you're in the front of the theater running around, pretending in interplay. That's what you and Forrest did after Lightyear. There was a mosh pit of just people in Minion suits jumping up and down, probably, the worst case scenario. but like, flashing lights everywhere. And once I heard it was disruptive, I was like, oh, that's a bummer. Like, it's nice to be ridiculous and go out there and like wear a suit, but.
I mean, I've definitely worn a suit for a movie before. Shout out James Bond. But I just was never disruptive to the experience. Probably because when I was that age, I was seeing movies with Ed, and you know how Ed is. Like, he's very like, shut the fuck up, we're watching this movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like a suit for a Bond makes sense, but suits for Minions,
they're having a good time.
Yeah, it's the opposite. It's being what's a contrarian. It's just contrarian meme culture at its finest, and I love it.
Dude, I mean, that's like our economy right now. We're like being propped up on memes. You know what I mean? Sony re-released Morbius a couple weekends ago because they were just like, people are talking about it again. It'll be great.
It's the new voting system.
In this case, this shit worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I should have put it under Top Gun.
If I had a free time, I and had a bunch of friends and had no pressures of making money every single week, or I'll die, then I would have been a Gentleminion. Fortunately, I have to feel the pressures of being in adulthood. But, the Rise of Gru, you're talking about how we should have put it higher in our movie wager list. The Rise of Gru made 125.2 million. It's the becoming the biggest 4th of July movie of all time, which is ridiculous. It surpassed Transformers Dark of the Moon in 2011, and Dark of the Moon had 115.9 million. And before that was Spider-Man 2 at 115.8 million. So at 125.2, they're here to stay as the number one, feature for 4th of July movie. It's crazy. But what's another crazy thing that's coming out here? Segue. Is Mr. James Cameron, Mr. James P. Cameron.
Oh God,
that's not his middle name. So there's news about Avatar: The Way of the Water. Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Way of the Water, coming in around 3 hours. And here's just a quote that he said: "I don't want anybody whining about length when they sit and binge watch television for 8 hours." Cameron told the magazine Empire. "I can almost write this part of the review. The agonizing long 3-hour movie. It's like, give me a fucking break. I've watched my kids sit and do 5 1-hour episodes in a row. Here's the big social paradigm shift that has to happen. It's okay to get up and go pee." So, he's wild up.
Wrong. Yeah. I mean, I get it, dude. And let's bring back intermissions. We were just talking about intermissions recently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to get up and go to the bathroom and get a popcorn. Let me enjoy the film.
It's very odd that it's like, yeah, go ahead, miss parts of my movie to go pee. Like, as a director, that's very strange to hear. I mean, because at least at home I can binge, but I'm pausing it. You know what I mean? Taking a break. Yeah. But he's fine with you missing parts of his movie, which is just kind of, I mean, sure, I understand, I guess. But I know you're confidence.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Listen, I want to hear. Yeah,
I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe this will be like my Gentleminions moment. You know what I mean? I'll like show up like in Blueface. You know what I mean? I mean, whatever, dude. I was reading today, and I'm sorry if I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but I was reading today about how he was saying like, they're for sure making 3 movies, but they want to make 5.
Yes.
He's like, fingers crossed. I hope we can make the 4th one because it's really good. And I'm just like, what the fuck, man? Like, who has the time to map out Avatar movies?
I know.
And like, we went 10 years without a sequel, and then in the next 10 years, we're about to be like dominated by Avatar sequels.
We don't even know it's coming. Do you know what I mean? Dude. It's like when people were talking about COVID, like, hey, something's coming and it's going to hit us hard. Like, this is what's going to happen with Avatar. We're going to get hit like insanely. I mean, going off of that, they said as of July 2020, the plan was to release Avatar 3. So Avatar 2 is coming out like this year? Is it this year?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Okay.
Avatar 2 this year. Yeah.
Or Avatar 2 this year. Avatar 3 in 2024. Avatar 4 in 2026. And Avatar 5 in 2028. I mean, that's a decade of Avatar, and not including any potential spinoffs, TV series. I mean, I'm going to be a different man with kids by the end of this Avatar era.
Bro, that's what I'm saying, dude. It's like we're about to be controlled by Avatar. When Disney spent all that money on Avatar, it didn't make sense at the time. They were like building the Avatar land at Disney World, and you were like, wow, okay, I guess we're really committing to this. And then you're like, oh, it's because he's making like 16 sequels. Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. Avatar is to me what people think about Minions. Like, do you like the Minions? Or you hate the Minions?
I definitely, no, I don't want to watch them.
I know. So it's like the cilantro of things. I see people who like the Minions and people who absolutely hate the Minions. For Avatar, the fact that I hear that it's going to be more than 3 hours now, it's like, I'm definitely going to wait till this comes out on VOD to watch it. Like, I probably won't go to the movies. I know you're here for it, but that's fine. I'm just, wanted to put it out there in the universe.
We're going to have to see. I'll tell you this. If it is as compelling as Top Gun was, you know what I mean? Like Top Gun came out and you didn't expect it to be good at all. You're like a Top Gun sequel, whatever, but it ended up being, you know what I mean? The hit of the summer so far. Like if Avatar wants to come out and then like second weekend we grow because of word of mouth. Okay, sure.
If Avatar 2 has over 90% and I get 3 positive reviews from close friends, we'll make it 4. 4 positive close reviews. Okay. Then I will go see Avatar 2 in theaters. Until then, I have to hit all those markers. If not, I'm waiting.
You were saying, just real quick, like you feel like it's like one side or the other on Avatar. I really feel like I have not heard anyone say a good thing about Avatar.
A good thing about Avatar?
Yeah, no, I've never heard anyone be like, I fucking love Avatar, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's almost always like a very neutral or negative.
Man, opinion. I mean, look, I think if Morbius and Minions got hit by the meme culture, I think this thing, Avatar's on its way. And I don't know if James Cameron is here for it. Like he keeps going on about the trolls will have it that nobody gives a shit and they can't remember the characters' names or one damn thing that happened in the movie. Then they see the movie again and go, oh, okay, excuse me. Let me just shut the fuck up right now. So I'm not worried about that. Like he's going off on a handle here.
He kind of is.
Yeah. And this is what he said about the 4th installment. He said, movie 4 is a corker. It's a motherfucker. I actually hope I get to make it.
That's what I'm saying. He's just like, no, I really have to make the 4th movie. It's going to be so good. And you're like, is the second one not going to be that good?
I know. Yeah. It's like, oh, you have to get through the first, 6 hours before it gets good. It's like in video games, you just have to get through the first 4 until it gets good.
And I've said this before, dude, Avatar to me as like a property would be so much more engaging as a video game. I think I would love the shit out of like playing these like Na'vi characters in Pandora. You know what I mean?
Oh my god!
And they're coming out with the game or whatever, and it's like that's good. But it's just like instead of investing this much time into like movies, I fingers crossed hope I can make movie 4 because the story's so good. It's like, dude, I play video games. You know what I mean? Like Red Dead Redemption was like the main story alone was like 80 hours long. Ooh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you can make a long video game and people are going to play it. I don't know.
Man, maybe that was the move. If this was a video game, I would totally be behind it 1000%.
Dude, imagine flying on one of those things, or in this one you swim on a whale or whatever. Like, fuck it.
Leaping through the woods, you know what I mean? Getting certain, leveling up with attributes as you become more and more like one of the Avatar people.
Changing your native, like per tribe. You know what I mean? Like mask or colors or garment or whatever.
As it changes.
You gotta you gotta do
You know what I mean? You turn yellow.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about, dude. That's what Horizon Zero Dawn, the sequel was like Forbidden West. Yeah, you can get like face paints and shit like that. Like,
yeah.
No, that's what I'm talking about. I play that game.
So yeah, there we go. They have their stuff planned out. Another company that has their stuff planned out is Star Wars. They're ready for Andor. This is another series you're excited about. I don't know if I'm that excited about Andor.
Man, I gotta say, I've just recently dipped my toe into the whole like Star Wars, especially like Disney properties, and I'm having a good time. But like even from the beginning of Disney, like Rogue One was one of my favorites. And as much as I've enjoyed the shows so far, I'm kind of like, okay, I think Andor, what's his face, you know what I mean, was an interesting character. I'd like to see where it goes.
Yeah, it's like they have 2 seasons plotted. It happens 5 years before Rogue One. Season 1's going to span with 1 year, and then season 2 will cover the following 4. So by the end of that, we'll get to, obviously Rogue One. Everyone will go crazy. People will have a fun time. You know what I mean? So I want to read this quote. I thought it was really interesting about the process of making Andor. The directors work in blocks of 3 episodes. So we did 4 blocks in season 1 of 3 episodes each. So coming up to 12. We looked and said, wow, it'd be really interesting if we came back and we used each block of 3 episodes to represent a year. So we'll move a year closer with each block. Yeah, I think that's really cool. I think that's an interesting take on it. I like that inside baseball of how they're kind of dividing and conquering the second season. I was complaining about it to you on the side.
I know.
And I was like, Jesus Christ, we're talking about season 2? Season 1 hasn't even come out. Why are we talking about season 2? I'm getting that's a lot of stuff to take. I can only take so much. But I mean, you also brought up a good point that it's better that they planned it all out than.
I mean, what's the biggest criticism of the Disney Star Wars trilogy is that they didn't plot out that story. You know what I mean? Every movie was kind of like, what should we do next? And so it's like, okay, if this, property has a map, let's see it. And also, normally I wouldn't be into time jumps, but it's just because it's a prequel, which I'm not really into prequels at all, because it's I already know where it's going to go. And the fact that we know exactly how Rogue One ends with these characters, it's take some liberties. Let's go ahead and get to the meat of the story. I don't need to see 6 seasons of him before he blows up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Spoiler.
I really hope, I hope that makes for really good pacing and not that was a neat scene that we can spread out for 3 episodes. That's what I'm always afraid of.
Yes. I mean, they're also talking about 12 episodes. So, I mean, a lot of these shows so far have been, Obi-Wan was 6 episodes?
Ooh, 12 episodes. That's going to be a lot. I feel like that's fine for
but
season 2.
They're short.
Oh, really?
Right? I mean, I assume they're going to be 20, 30 minutes max.
I don't know.
Well, let me take a step back, because Obi-Wan was definitely 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's better than an hour. You know what I mean?
And you know what? I don't know if you ever noticed this, but on Disney Plus, I mean, everyone deals with this, right? How you get faked out. You're like, oh God, it's going to be 40-minute episode or 50-minute episode. It ends up being 40 minutes because the last 10 minutes is just a huge list of credits and voiceovers of different countries. It's so annoying. I was watching The Bear and it went all the way pretty much 1 minute out into the minute. It's okay, I'm getting 30 minutes of content. And then with Disney Plus, I'm always okay, so it's 40, so minus 7, so it's going to be 32 or 38. 32. I have to do math in my head to know the runtime, because the runtime will scare me. Fuck, this is 51 minutes. Well, actually, it's kind of 42. I guess that's fine, but anyway, runtime. How long will the Andor episodes be? It doesn't say the runtime yet.
I'd say somewhere between 30 and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And which I think is a really good sweet spot, especially for these weekly episodes. Let me do something fun each week and build up to a story.
Right. Yeah. Well, we'll see how well that does, how much money that brings in for Disney. But what's really bringing a lot of money is Kate Bush's song, Running Up That Hill. It's made $2 million just from coming out on Netflix. So she wrote it, produced it, owns 100% of its songwriting. Really, the biggest news about this is that she broke records. She currently, the song holds the record for the longest time for a track to reach number 1 in the UK, oldest female artist to reach number 1, and the longest gap between number 1 spots on the UK's official singles chart. So, I just thought that was cool. I feel like Stranger Things is making a big impact on stuff, so much so that the Duffer Brothers have started a new production company, the Upside Down Pictures.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, it's a lot. So what they're doing is they're making a new production company with Netflix because Netflix loves them. They're going to make stories that they're usually into. There's this movie, The Death Note. Netflix made a film in 2017, but it was really bad, so they're redoing that one.
Yes, I was going to say, I was reading about Death Note a lot today, and I was just I'm pretty sure this sounds very familiar. Didn't they just do that? So I'm glad you confirmed for me. Yeah, because it was bad, right?
I think so. I mean,
didn't like it.
I never watched it, but I didn't hear anything good about it. So I imagined it was just, it was bad. What else is happening here? Oh, they're doing a series adaptation of Stephen King and Peter Straub's 1984, The Talisman, which they're going to make with Steven Spielberg and his company Amblin and Paramount. It's interesting because they do so many things to like emulate Steven Spielberg's stuff and their own stuff that they finally get to like
totally
work together with Steven Spielberg. Really, and then they're going to do a Stranger Things spinoff as well. But the most interesting thing here is that they're doing a stage play. Like they're doing a play set in the world in the mythology of Stranger Things. Like what a move is that? Like
I was reading about all of this stuff today and I was just going, man, that's just kind of like the business. Like once you find like the property, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if they're gonna like, let's say the Duffer Brothers are like, no, we don't want to make more. I don't know why I gave them that voice. Like I don't try to be disrespectful, but maybe they're like, no, we don't want more. Netflix is going to be like, no, fuck you. I don't care. We're definitely going to make more Stranger Things. You know what I mean? Like Game of Thrones, they botched it, but HBO's like, okay, here's more Game of Thrones content. You know what I mean? So it's like, fuck it. Yeah. Just own all of it and make that shit work. And plus it's like hot. I don't know. I'm not watching Stranger Things right now.
Right.
I know we're going to talk about it.
We're going to talk a little bit about it. Yeah. I mean, it's really, really difficult to not want to like milk this as much as you can because Stranger Things is the second show that has crossed the 1 billion hours watched. They have 1.15 billion hours watched, and season 4 pulled in 220 million hours, and the only second to Squid Game, which clocked in 1.6 billion. And I've only seen one episode of Squid Game, but now they're like making a game show for Squid Game. They got season 2 coming out. And so I'm going to watch Squid Game. Sorry, I had a burp. I'm going to watch Squid Game. But really, like, they won't let you go. If you make them a lot of money, you will be forced to make a cinematic universe surrounding that. There's nowhere, and it's just like we're getting there with Harry Potter, Avatar, Star Wars, Marvel, Stranger Things. What else? Game of Thrones. I don't know,
bro. I mean, it's like anything that pops just once. You know what I mean? They're like, that's a franchise. Right
just all the money.
Dude, I mean, it's like easy money at this point. That's what I'm saying. It's like at least they seem to still be like creatively engaged in the IP.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, let's make all of these things.
It's just it really like creates a burnout before it all goes down. Like I don't know. It feels like a lot to carry. It's like, damn, okay, I'm excited with one or two. When I get hit with so much news, it always like kind of overwhelms me.
But, that's how I felt like when Disney Plus, when Disney was like, we're going to do all of these Marvel shows and Star Wars shows. Like at front, you go, man, that's kind of a lot. But then once you get into it, you're like, well, what's coming on next week?
Yeah,
I got to watch.
That's true. And now another thing to watch out for is George Clooney's nipples, specifically his nipple suit from Batman and Robin. It's being auctioned off current with the starting bid of $40,000.
Wow.
If I was rich,
I was just about to say, how much would you spend on this suit, dude?
If I was rich, I would go as high as $250,000.
Wow. Dude, to display it or to wear it? You know what I mean? Like, are you trying to run
I don't know. I probably display wear when I'm drunk. You know what I mean? Like that kind of situation.
Dude, who fucking would?
Like not even wearing the cowl, just wearing the suit itself. No, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
With like no shoes and no gloves, just like.
Be like, Sarah's like, oh, where's Luis? No, oh, here he is. He's fucking boom. Da-da-da-da. It's me fucking Batman.
And then later in the night, I'm just like playing. I'm on the couch, like binging TV, slouched. $40,000. I mean, how much would you spend,
dude, on this suit? I mean, for the art factor alone, you know what I mean? Man, at least 175. You know what I mean? I don't know about 250. Gosh, that's just so much. That's just so much imaginary money for me to spend.
I'm thinking I'm making like, a couple million. No, maybe 800. No. Yeah, a couple million.
But but like a glass case.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like predominantly displayed in the living
Absolutely.
room. You know what I mean?
If I could,
like fuck a fireplace.
If I could, I would have it like come out of the ground, turning out like in the Batmobile. You know what I mean? And I'll have like the Batman music play, like da na na na. Yeah, that would be great.
Does he see any of that money?
No, that would go to the design. I don't think he does.
Damn, that's kind of messed up.
Well, it's the guy whoever designed the costumes. He's the one who should be getting the money, right?
Yeah, but didn't they like mold it around his body?
I guess that's true. So it's like it has George Clooney's likeness.
Those are his nipples.
Wow. I mean, maybe the price goes up. No, George Clooney, that movie. I don't think I hate it as much as everybody else does. You know why? Because I know it for what it is. Like,
man, that has definitely been topic of conversation in my house recently. We watched it, I want to say like maybe a year ago or something. Yeah. And it was just like, dude, this movie, it was just ahead of its time, really. It was its own thing. It tried to be something totally different.
Yeah.
And yeah, you could nitpick and go, oh, this, oh, that, or oh, it was just a bunch of like bullshit. But I don't know, man.
I think it is what it is. I think it intentionally does the bullshit. And because of that, I don't think it's as bad as maybe people say it out to be. And
they give George Clooney a lot of shit about this movie. And it seems like he feels like he has to like carry that burden. He's always like, oh, that movie sucked or whatever. But it was like, no, dude. And George Clooney's not even the worst part about that movie. I don't know.
The way that they wanted him to act that way is Joel Schumacher. Like, he's the one who tells him how to perform. Like, this is how I want you to play it. And dude, also, like, George Clooney as Bruce Wayne. Maybe we might lose for subscribers and followers. But
fuck him.
That guy, I mean, if you met George Clooney in a bar, would he not be a snazzy guy? Like, would not be a like, wow, this guy is really top notch. Like he's giving off the.
You can't even, Luis. If you and me were the studio that year, going like, we have to replace Val Kilmer as Batman. Who's hot right now?
You would
absolutely go for George Clooney. You know what I mean?
He's a cool guy. He's a cool Bruce Wayne.
He's got that charisma. He fits that vibe. Dude,
he's not a troubled Bruce Wayne anymore. He's got it down. He's like living life, chumming it up.
Let's say George Clooney was never Batman in 1990, whatever, 8, 7, whatever that was.
Yeah.
And let's say they decided to do like an old man Batman, like a weird version
so
of it.
Weird.
Now,
that's so weird.
And they cast George Clooney. You would go like, oh, that's so fucking intriguing. George Clooney. Oh shit, what's he gonna do? Like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, it fit for its time. It just wasn't. It wasn't what people wanted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it fits for its time. It's its own thing. I think people don't like it because it doesn't match up with Tim Burton's image, but those are two different movies, two different like Batman, what's it called? We talked about this. You have the Tim Burtons and then you have the Joel Schumachers. They're not connected, but they are. You know what I mean? Like, they're in this weird thing of like, they're two different like series to me. Like, of course, it's the same music. It's kind of the same Batmobile, blah, 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 blah. But for me, they're different. And even more so, Batman and Forever. It almost splits away from, Batman and Robin splits away from Batman and Forever just being so ridiculous. Like, they really lean hard into it. But whatever. I mean, it's fine. Obviously, it's not the best, but I'm just saying it gets a lot of hate.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't need to be shit on as much. Like, think about James Bond. You know what I mean? They change James Bonds every few, you know what I mean, cycles or whatever. Batman just did it much quicker. You know what I mean? They just went from Michael Keaton to George Clooney in too quick of a succession. No,
the most modern wacky Batman. I'm fine with it. So yeah, $250,000 in my room. I'm here for it. They did some weird things. Do you remember that cowl when he did his cowl and it has like these like lines impeding into his face? Do you know what I mean? Like, he had like,
like those like little V's.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Yeah, that was weird.
Right there. Yeah, dude.
I also really hated how they. Sorry. Now I'm going on a hate storm.
No. Now let's hear it. This is what people want. They said no shit all over that movie, Luis.
Man, I hate how they really like fuck up the Batmobile too as it goes on in that series. Like, he just gets worse and worse looking.
Yeah. Like, shrap. When they say like, oh, they made this movie just so they can make toys, I was like, yeah. These are toys. Although, let me say, I mean, I was like, what, 7 years old when that movie came out? I fucking wanted that Batmobile. You know what I mean? It shot the missile. It lit up.
It's funny. I mean? It does look like they took a toy adaptation and they made it into a movie instead of the other way around. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because it's a toy, like everything has like sharp lines and nice silhouette, but it's weird in this movie. Yeah.
I have to say, just on a tangent real quick, because I just remembered this. I was getting out of the house the other day. So I took the boy to the park. We went on a drive. We stopped by the store on the way home. And I'm not supposed to do this, but sometimes I like to take him by the toy aisle just to like see what he's into. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he's really into the Jurassic World toys right now. It's a bunch of dinosaurs, this and that. But they had a pack where it was like a Velociraptor and it was Chris Pratt and another character from the movie. And I picked it up to look at it. And I literally, of the two dudes that were in the pack, I had no idea which one was Chris Pratt. I was like, one of them was in like this red shirt. One of them was in like a trench coat. And it just, neither of them looked like Chris Pratt at all. You know
just
what I mean?
Generic
and it's
white
like the
dude.
disrespect. Dude, that's what I'm saying. It's like the disrespect. Like,
Chris Pratt is really working for that position. Do you know what I mean? Give him the respect for the mold to look like him.
Dude, the worst part was not only did the thing not look like Chris Pratt, but if you flipped it over, where they have like the promo shot of the toys, like the action shot of the toys on the cardboard, they like CGI'd his face to look more like Chris Pratt. So the picture looked like him, but the toy itself was just like, dude, this is trash.
You have to. I want to see. Did you get it or no?
Fuck no. I am not giving Jurassic World any money. Okay,
dude, that thing bombed. Like I'm so glad I didn't see it. Did you? You didn't see it, right? Or no?
No, okay. But I put it as my number one because I was like, people are gonna flock to this.
Well, it's still doing. I mean, well, is it doing well still? I feel like it made a lot.
How much money has it made?
Let's go.
How much has it made?
Box Office Mojo. I'm going to the site. Yeah, man, I knew it was going to bomb and everybody agreed. Did you hear the plot of the Dominion, of Jurassic World Dominion?
I mean, I did hear like that there's dinosaurs are barely in it and that the main bad guy is like a bug. You know what I mean?
What the fuck?
Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean?
The bad guy's a bug and not the dinosaur. Incredible. I love it. Okay.
I've said this a million times, but at the end, Kristen and I saw Jurassic World, the first of the new ones, like 5 times in theaters by accident.
Yeah, you told me that.
And then the second movie came out. We were like, okay, we'll do this. And it was so bad that I turned and I looked at Kristen and I was just like, I don't want to see any more Jurassic Park movies in the theater. Like, this was so bad. I'm not wasting my time on this.
Man, I don't know if I'm ever gonna. So, okay, so top one, number one, Top Gun at July 6th is when we're recording this. Here's the numbers: 575 million for Top Gun. Jurassic World Dominion, 338 million. So still number 2. And then number 4, Minions at 140 million. Lightyear at 107.
Dang.
And then Elvis at 74. Wow. The Black Phone is at 7. Dude, I had the Black Phone on my number 10 on my list.
That was definitely one of those that I was thinking about, but I was like, I'm not sure. And again, I'm kicking myself over it. You know what I mean? Like, people cannot stop talking about that movie. A horror movie in the middle of summer.
That's a bold move to make. You know, it's like, this shit's going to be good. We're dropping it in the summertime. Like,
dude, like, get to it so that by the time Halloween comes out, you're watching it on VOD. You know what I mean? You're like paying for it for your Halloween party.
Absolutely.
Dude, I'm here for it. I said it last week. I'll say it again. Dude, I think Ethan Hawke, like, he's become one of my favorite actors. Like, if he's doing something, you're like, okay, it'll be good.
Yeah, I'm excited for. I'm trying to sneak away to see Black Phone, and we just got access to Men and the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. So I'm hoping to watch those too. Trailers. Actually, just one trailer, just one. We had to cut some out. So one trailer, Amsterdam. It's David O. Russell's new movie. It's set in the 30s. It follows 3 friends who witness a murder, become suspects themselves, and uncover one of the most outrageous plots in American history. David O. Russell seems to be doing a lot with historical stuff. But when I saw the trailer, I had the same feeling that I think the rest of the internet had, which is, Miguel?
Oh no, you
don't know?
Me. Oh,
what a cast!
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. That's an ensemble right there, dude.
I mean, what a cast! It's Christian Bale, Margot Robbie, John David Washington, Chris Rock, Anya Taylor-Joy, Zoe Saldana, Mike Myers, Michael Shannon, Timothy Olyphant, Rami Malek, Robert De Niro, and of course Taylor Swift. And there was a poster of this movie where it was just all the names. It was one of those movies where it just has all the names listed out on the poster.
Let's go. That was definitely because they spend most of the trailer really talking about the trio, and you're like, okay, this feels like this is like a moneymaker already. You know what I mean? This is like 3 pretty high profile actors. And then, as the trailer kept going, I was just like, holy shit. Like, this is going to be a pretty hot cast.
That's pretty cool. Until we see more, I like his movies. I know Ed doesn't like some of his movies. But we'll see, how that comes out. But coming soon, some movie news. Dune Part 2 moves from October 20th, 2023 to November 17th, 2023, and will have IMAX release. An untitled Godzilla and Kong event film will be released March 3rd or March 15th, 2024 with an IMAX release, of course. Miguel, I remember when I used to listen to your old podcast, you were super excited about Godzilla.
Dude, and I'll say this, I think the new Godzilla is like pretty interesting. The first movie I liked more than the second one. You know what I mean? But he's cool. And the Godzilla versus Kong was kind of like, okay, it's just like a monster, like a kaiju movie. It is what it is. And if they want to make another one of those, fuck it. If they want to be friends this time and like fight a bigger foe, whatever, dude, I'm here for it. Especially if I can watch it on HBO Max within a month of its release. Let's go.
Oh, wait, these are big monster movies. You got to see in the IMAX for sure.
Listen, I've got a big TV. It's fine. Kristen, we got like a sound bar for Christmas a couple years ago. Like, you know what I mean? I'll just like get blackout curtains. It's fine.
Just get right up to the screen and
dude,
I don't know. I'll fly over there and drag you to the IMAX for you to see this.
Are you telling me you're going to go see this movie in IMAX?
Yes, I will see this movie now. It's just too big. It's too big. It's too much an event.
Godzilla versus Kong 2. Did you enjoy the first one?
Actually, I saw that one at home, so I didn't see it in theaters. I enjoyed the third act. How about that?
Sure.
But obviously, like going into it, it was just like it had set up all these things to just. It was fine.
It was free at home.
It was free. It was free at home. But
day one,
if we're doing a second one, I hope they got new updated graphics. I want to hear some roars. I want to see some. Big things break.
If someone wants to sponsor us to see that movie in IMAX, like I will absolutely go. You know what I mean?
We got to set up our Patreon account. Wait.
Dude, every week we're going to say we're setting it up.
If we had a bonus award, what would it be? Reward. Let's see. A shout out in the podcast for $1.
100%. That's easy.
Yeah, that's easy.
We'll put your picture up behind us. You know what I mean? Like some sort of graphic.
Yeah, I like that. You'll have a permanent space on our graphic screen. On YouTube and Spotify.
There you go.
That's like $1 or $2. It's like a $5. That's got to be big. That's a real commitment.
We'll send you like a personalized video on Instagram.
We're like Cameo. Yeah. We'll talk about whatever topic you want us to talk. Well, who cares? Maybe they won't be interested in it. Maybe like that's a $2 donation.
Yeah, we got to get at least $2 from
$1, $2, $5. Maybe we can start something. When Ed comes back, we'll flesh out our Patreon plan more. Until then, please don't steal our username on Patreon. We will sign up someday.
No, we're signed up. We just don't use it. Yeah.
Do we have the logo on there and everything?
I'll look into it. Let me get back to you on that.
Okay. Here,
we'll circle
Tune
back
in next week with the update on Patreon. It's the new segment. Listen, God of War Ragnarok. It's coming out November 9th.
Oh, bud.
And I've been playing the God of War, the 2018 release. And I'm like, fuck. I got to finish this up before November 9th. This is exciting. I can't believe I'm going to finish God of War. Dude. I'm going to be in a God of War zone here. I'm spoiled.
I hope that you were done with God of War before November. You know what I mean? I know you're very busy, but it's just one of those games like you just got to get through it, dude. It's so good. And let's do a quick God of War update. Where are you at? Let's see. The last time you talked to me, you had gone to the Witch.
I barely. Oh yeah, last time we talked, I got to the Witch. But now I'm trying to get the light from Alfheim. Like there's the dark. And whatever, I've been facing a fire monster, or no, it wasn't an ice monster. It was an ice monster. Had to take him down with his own rocks. I've been ringing those bells to unlock the big chests to get like to upgrade my health. That's been fun. You know what I mean? I have to throw the axe at the right gong at the right time. There was one that was really hard. Those things can be really challenging. Bro, you know what I mean?
They get harder.
No way. I don't know if I can handle it.
Levels. No.
The last one, I had to hit a bell like bum bum bung and really quick, and my aim is for shit. You know what I mean?
Bro, I'm saying get ready, dude. Those things suck. And it's one of those things where like even if you're like, I've been doing it for 15 hours, let me just go consult YouTube. Yeah. And then you watch them do it and they just do it. And you're like, oh, so I just have to do it. I just have to like throw the thing at the right time.
This is the problem is like,
those are hard.
I get in a momentum of like, I'm kicking ass. And then I come across a chest. I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to figure this out. And if I don't figure it out fast, then it's like, now this is work, which is fine. Cause when you do get the chest, you're like, fuck yeah, I'm awesome, you know? But yeah, I mean,
I'll say this. For me, I didn't devote
too much time on it,
as much time to them on my first playthrough.
Okay.
The first time I play a game, I really want to like soak in the story. And if I can, as I'm playing, throw the thing and get a thing as I'm going, great. But once it gets to like, okay, I've done it like 10 times and I can't get it. Fuck it. I'm going to go and just move on.
I like that.
And I spend more time on it on the new game plus, because then I'm like, okay, I know where the story's going. Let me go ahead and level up a little bit.
Right. Well, the reason I level up is because I don't want to die so fast. Like when my heart meter's low.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's why I'm getting the hearts. And the rage, maybe not so much, but definitely the vitality. I'm trying to up a little bit because I die. I'm still figuring out the music of the fight, but it's really fun, man. It reminded me because I'm still new to video games, everybody, but like I played Jedi Fallen Order. And it just feels like almost like I don't know. It's different, but maybe a little bit better because of the variety. I feel like I'm getting a lot of fun variety with God of War. Do you know what I mean? And
God of War is 100% better than Jedi.
Okay. I'm okay to say that. Like, I just started because I'm still in that quote unquote first world because I think I guess I have to go to every dimension, right? I have to go to like
no. Ooh, that's the thing. That's the thing that kind of like Horizon Zero Dawn is they show you the whole story in like the game, all the dimensions, this and that, and this and that, but you don't really go to all of them.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? As far as the main story is concerned, and it's one of those where the story ends, and you know, okay, they're setting it up. They're saying, I couldn't go there this time, but I will. You know what I mean? Because
I thought that was the whole thing. Like we got to the point where I got to the Bifrost and they were like, there are, 8 dimensions or whatever. And you'll have, I was like, oh, here's the plan. 8 dimensions. I'll have to go into each world every single time till I get something. But no, if it's different, that's okay.
I don't want to give it too much away, but they really do a great job of telling you where the story is going to go.
Yeah.
And then you play the story and then it goes.
So is Ragnarok will play off of the events of this last game.
100%. I don't want to give too much away, but yes, they at one point in the game, they allude to the sequel.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So people usually predict there's usually a prediction for Ragnarok. So I'm guessing that's going to be like winter's coming. Ragnarok is here. Ragnarok is coming. Things are about to crash. The Bifrost is breaking down, or some sort of shit. I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this: what do you feel about like the dynamic between Kratos and his son Atreus?
You mean like? What do you mean like playing it, or just like the characters themselves?
Yeah, a little bit of both.
I enjoy having this character distract and like be another part of the gameplay. You know what I mean? I think having him start off my fights has been really nice. Like before a fight starts, he always like pew pew sends off a little like arrow, and then I come in and swoo, and I smack him up a little bit, maybe a couple punches. And then I have him like do a final touch again to like kind of get him off their guard, arrow it again. Mm-hmm. So it's a nice like bounce back and forth to have him there. It reminds me of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Yeah, where you had all these different characters, and you could kind of like put them into action at different times. Did you play that? You played that, right?
No, dude, but one of the things I'm thinking about doing is they just came out with that PlayStation Plus, like the tiers of PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
And I think Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the games you can get in the catalog. So I'm just like, oh, I kind of want to do this. You know what I mean? So I can play all these games.
It was really fun. It felt like I had because it won like best story. But it did feel like, I'm watching another Guardians of the Galaxy movie, which is really cool. And I get to kind of like participate a little bit in it, which is the fun part of it for me. And it was the first time I ever worked in like group settings where I get to control different people in my party like that. And that was really fun. But I know people say it could be a little repetitive. And while I'm playing God of War, let me see, wow, look at all this like different variety that I have, you know?
Yes. And that's what I like about God of War is like, I feel like you utilize him as much as you want in any given fight. Yeah. You know what I mean? Your play style, they don't like hinder you by that.
Yeah, it does feel like I have a freedom of like deciding what type of character I want him, like my fight style. You know?
That was the one point that I wanted to ask was the actual like gameplay of it, but story wise, how do you feel about their relationship?
I mean, you know, right now what I'm getting is vibes of like he's hard on his boy, but he loves him, and I feel like I'm guessing that it's a relationship that's going to mature and both are going to grow. Like that's kind of where I'm going. So I'm only in the first part, like in Alpine, where he's collecting the light with the boy, but I feel like there's more left.
Fighting
What's up?
Yo, dude. It goes every time you think, oh, okay, I've fulfilled the story and I'm about to finish it. They find a way to be like, no, there's more.
Yeah, I feel like there's more to develop for the relationship between these two. Like where it's like got a rocky start. So I don't know. Maybe after I spend some more time with them, maybe I'll get annoyed about their relationship. But as of right now, I'm like, okay, this is the setup. This is stage one, and we'll see how this develops. You know.
Well, all right. When you finish it, that's what I want to know. Okay? I want to know how you feel by the end of it.
I also wonder, you call your son, boy, come here, boy.
Bro.
Is it because of God of War? Because every time he talks, he's like, come here, boy, the boy. Like you call your son the boy, and he always calls him like,
I do.
Come here, boy.
It's not like a purposeful thing. It wasn't like I woke up one day and was like, I'm going to call him this because of this. But I definitely say it. And I do say it like that to him a lot. Boy, you know what I mean? As just like a joke.
Yeah. Well, after playing it a couple hours, you're like, where's, like I have my cats and I'm like, come here, boy. You know what I mean? I talk to him, boy, boy.
I played God of War. I think that was the game I played after he was born.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, that's why.
So it's very much like ingrained into like my whole life around him. And it's such a good father-son story. I don't remember what, but Kristen and I, we were watching something earlier and I clicked on it and she was like, it was Finding Nemo. That's what it was, because we were watching it with Forrest. And she was like, you just like can't get over this father-son dynamic, can you? And I was like, no. Okay. Like it makes me cry every time I think about
it. Man, I guess it was a father-daughter dynamic. I was thinking about Interstellar. What else?
Oh, but anytime a father has to, you know what I mean, let their kid down at some point, you know what I mean? I'm always like, oh God, Miguel, don't fuck it up, okay? Like, please be a good dad, please.
Every time, things I'm doing in life now, I'm like, I got to get my shit together. I'm going to have a kid. Like, I can't, like, I don't know.
Bro.
Let me do my dishes so my kid doesn't think I'm a mess. But it's...
No, fuck it.
But it's like, yeah, God of War is really fun. I can't wait to keep playing it. One thing I'm struggling with, I will say, is my inability to jump.
Okay. This is definitely something I feel when I play a game kind of like this, because most games, they give you that option. You know what I mean? Most games, you're somewhat of a superhero. You know what I mean? Right? Yeah. and you kind of do things that are a little bit out of normal. But when you get to these games, it's kind of like Crash Bandicoot. You know what I mean? I don't know if you ever played those games, but it's just like, okay, there's not like, they introduced the double jump real late. Okay. It's like, I don't know. You have to interact with the environment and this and that. That can be kind of tough.
Yeah.
It's one of the things I would like to fix.
Like in the next one.
I love a character. Like, for example, I talk about Horizon Zero Dawn a lot. In Horizon Zero Dawn, it was kind of tough, but in the sequel, Forbidden West, they gave her like one of those gliders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she can like jump off of cliffs and glide her way down. I love that shit, dude. Let me fly. I play a video game because I want to like live that life. You know, I don't want to be like stuck. Oh, you can't jump over this log. Whatever. Like Kratos, like he lifts them up. You know what I mean? Like he can jump over them. Too,
yeah. It's like it's one of the frustrating things where I had, even with Jedi Fallen Order, where I feel limited in the map, where I can't like free roam, and there's certain things that kind of get blocked from like touching or moving from. I get it. You don't want me to go there and like, I guess, break the system, but I feel that way with this game too, where I feel like I don't have a ton of free movement, and I have to like hit the right rock at the right place to do something, to jump over. And I think that's just like, I find myself wanting to jump, and I do like kind of do like the push button to jump. But I guess I'll just have to get over it, and I hope that there's like a change in Ragnarok so I can jump. But that's the only complaint that I have right now about it. Besides that, I'm really having a lot of fun.
I will say the level that you're on right now, the Alfheim level where you like fight the fairies or whatever, that's my least favorite level.
Okay.
I've played it maybe 2 or 3 times now, and every time I get to that, I'm just like, okay, let's get through this part, because it's just like, it's, you know, it's about like leveling up a little bit.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't add too much to the story. And like you were talking about the throwing of the bells earlier. Yeah. Like this one, you have to throw these like vines. These,
yes. Like, yeah. At the right place. Yeah. That was annoying.
Bro. No, this level was not for me. The rest of the game though, phenomenal. I think
the exciting, and just to wrap it up, I think the exciting thing about this is, always finding the new moves that I get to, like, because I'm upgrading, getting experience, I get to play with all these new move sets. So even though it's like kind of, I don't know, it's moving. That's what's exciting to me, is I get to try these like new impactful moves, like my hard melee, a new light melee, things like that. I'm like getting to know myself as I play the game. But I'm super excited. November 9th. I need to finish it because I want to play The Last of Us when the remake comes out in October,
bro.
So that's because I haven't played it, and I want to play that. So that's that. We did it. That's the news. Like it or not, we're done. Now we're moving on to what we're into. Okay. Miguel, usually Ed would be leaving to go to the bathroom, but hey, no need to wait to go into this segment.
Not today.
Yeah. I mean, tell me what you're into.
Okay, so we're just kind of like, I've said this a couple of weeks, we've been moving and this and that. We just came back from the trip. We're just kind of getting settled. So the show we're watching in the new place right now is Mad Men. It is currently, I'm watching it on Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime does this really good. They have like a contract with IMDb or whatever, where you can like watch certain shows for free with like ads. Wow. Which is definitely like priming me up to get ready for fucking ads every time I want to watch something. But at the same time, like, Mad Men was on Netflix for like years. And then like the moment I wanted to actually sit down and watch the show, they took it off Netflix. So I'm like, whatever. If I have to watch a couple commercials, I'll do it. All that to say is I'm like maybe 7 episodes deep into this first season. Have you ever seen Mad Men?
I've seen, I think, the first 3 seasons, but I never finished all the way.
Okay. So we're 7 episodes into like 13 episodes. And these are the seasons where it was like, okay, every episode has to be an hour long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like minus commercials, they're like 40 plus minutes, And I was talking to Kristen. I was just like, look, I'm really going to commit to this first season, because sometimes I feel like you have to really get into the world of a show, before you can really appreciate it. But I just was like, what is the thing that happens? Like, what's the big moment that I need to be looking out for? And she was just like, it's not really one of those shows. It's like a character study.
Yeah.
It's a period piece character study.
I mean, that's what it is.
And every single Every single one of those words bored me to death in that sentence. I was just like, ugh.
I mean, she's
and
not
I'm
wrong.
The one that was like, oh, I want to watch. No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. And I was the one that was like, I want to watch Mad Men. I want to see what it's all about. And I've mentioned this before, but like, I feel like a gauge to figure out how Miguel likes a show is like how long I'm on my phone during it. You know what I mean? And I feel like every episode so far, I've spent a majority of the time, like also on my phone, like scrolling while I'm watching.
Well, they have a lot of still moments. Do you know what I mean? Like they sit and they're on sticks and they're like just
for so long.
Yeah. That's their thing. They get off on it.
Yes. And I kind of want to appreciate it, but I'm just like, get to it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just trying to commit. This is season 1. When I think of the end of Mad Men, like there's going to be so much growth for every character. Yeah. And so I'm just like, okay, let's get to it. Like, obviously they're setting up that Don Draper is just like mysterious man, and Peggy, his secretary, is like an intelligent woman. Right. In a time where like women aren't seen as, you know what I mean, anything more than just like a receptionist. And so that's what's like hooking me. I'm like, okay, I want to see these two people grow. But then like Peggy wasn't in like the last 2 episodes I watched.
Oh, really? I mean,
yeah. And then it's just like, oh, okay. I just want to get to the interesting moments. I want to see these characters grow a little bit.
But, Allison Bree's in it too.
Yeah, I don't know. Bro, she just like showed up out of nowhere.
She was doing Community during the time she was doing Mad Men. Like,
at the
what
same
a career
time, right?
to be doing a comedy and like this, like both in a great show in each genre.
Exactly. That both were hits. Yeah. You know what I mean? And she's doing a really good job. You know what I mean? She's in it. As far as I've watched, like I said, I'm only like 7 or 8 episodes in. So she kind of like showed up very dramatically in episode 3 or whatever. And she's been kind of in it. So I'm like, okay, let's see where you go from here. I don't know. Like I said, my overall take is I'm going to hold out and I'm going to see.
I don't know if you're going to go on to season 2 is my guess.
Oh,
no. I mean, yeah, Kristen said it right. It is a character study and it is like a slow burn. And it is like, you know, you just kind of live and feel them out a little bit. You know, it's all about aura.
I can handle slow burns, and again, this is why I'm trying to commit. I can handle slow burns when something pops off at the end.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you ever watched that show on Netflix, Bloodline.
No, that's Sarah watched that, and I was thinking about that show the way you described it. I was like, oh, sounds like a show that Sarah watched. Yeah,
it is 100%. That to me was like a great example. Season 1. A great example of a slow burn where it was like every episode you're kind of like trudging along and you're learning all this information and then there's a payoff. And so that's what I'm kind of thinking about Mad Men. Okay, I'm trudging along and I want there to be a payoff. So
yeah, I mean, I only went to season 3, so I think season 3 or season 4, but I haven't seen the whole thing. Yeah, a show like that, a show like Boardwalk Empire, I haven't finished either. Shows I want to finish, but you know, I don't know. Maybe one day. You know what? You talk about this and you talk about Weeds. Remember you talked about Weeds last week? Are you still watching Weeds too?
So I did tell Kristen that, and this is I'm talking so much shit about Mad Men, yet again, I'm the one that was like the proponent. I was like, let's watch Mad Men. I was like, I would rather watch Mad Men than Weeds because I've seen Weeds. Right. You know,
you want to get the vibe of Mad Men. You want to know why people are kind of like.
Let me get into it. You know, like let me enjoy. But no, I mean,
what about Marvelous Miss Maisel? Right. Did you ever finish it,
dude? Man, I will say it's been fun watching Mad Men because they make references that Marvelous Miss Maisel also references. Like Miss Maisel, they go to the gaslight a lot, and they just mentioned the gaslight. They just mentioned Lenny Bruce in Mad Men.
Oh, really?
And it's like, oh, okay. I can kind of like, okay, I've seen.
Yeah, I know what's going on. I know. Yeah, of course, the gaslight. Yes.
Oh yeah, I bet fucking what was her name? Susie. I bet Susie.
I get that. I understand what happened there. Yeah, that place is. Yeah.
No, dude, it put it into perspective a little bit. And again, I'm into Miss Maisel, and Miss Maisel was another show that I was not into immediately. Right. Know? So I'm really trying to give this show its go.
I hear it.
But people, you know what I mean? Chime in. Let us know at Punch Drunk Nerd. You know what I mean? Miguel, you have to watch this because
this happens. You know, one thing I'm kind of rolling into what I've been into, but we talked a little bit about Stranger Things, and I know you watched. I finished Stranger Things, the fourth season, and before the show started, we were talking about how you watched the first season of Stranger Things, but then you never finished or went on, right? Like you watched a little bit of season 2, or
we kind of got like a couple episodes into season 2, and then we just like lost interest,
right.
You know.
Would you ever be interested in going back into?
Dude, I'm saying, like the hype is so real. We were talking about The Bear last week, where everyone was getting a little emotional about The Bear, and I was hyped about watching that shit too. You know what I mean? So it's like, as much as I'd like to complain about, sometimes the hype ruins a movie or a show, it's definitely kind of piquing my interest. And I'm having to be like, Kristen, are we going to watch this? And she's like, I don't really want to watch it. So I'm like, okay,
why doesn't she want to watch it? You think? Is it?
If I had to guess, it's just because there's so much content out there that we're trying to watch all at once, and Stranger Things has 4 seasons now, and it's like, okay, I really gotta like dig in. Right, we're gonna have to watch season 1.
I mean, that thing has 7 seasons.
Yeah, and I will say this for Stranger Things, they only have like 8 or 9 episodes a season. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Exactly.
That's the way.
This is the way.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I want to go back and watch it.
I'm probably
simply because I've got a big thing about FOMO. Like, I don't want to miss out. You know what I mean?
You're going to miss out. Season 5, when that comes out, that's the last season finale. Everyone's going to be talking about Stranger Things, you know?
Bro, my commitment to you in this moment, Luis, my vow to you, okay, is that by season 5,
what I want.
I will have watched. That's what I want. Okay?
I want to, when you watch it, I want to rewatch it too. Like, I want to watch it right before it comes out. You know what I mean? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 is ready to go. Okay. So I can kind of like get in the moment.
That's how we did Game of Thrones. That was like our vibe on every season of Game of Thrones. We always rewatched the whole show before it. So I'm on the same page. Let's go.
Well, Stranger Things, I know you didn't watch it. You know, I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. Yeah. You know, dude, I had a ball with this season. Dude, this is what I had to say. It's a solid, like, popcorn fun. It's really good at playing up tension and pacing. I think in a time when we were watching Obi-Wan and I was watching this show, the way they utilize like camera transitions and creating epic moments was something I was horribly lacking Obi-Wan. Like, they put camera angles in different fun places. They really, like, I don't know, they give you that blockbuster feel of making it feel more epic than it is. It designs exciting visuals and set pieces that land really hard. Editing's great, sound design, awesome performances. I mean, these are all things that are kind of like working on cylinders that just get you hyped. You know what I mean? Like, I think blockbuster pop is what it's the tone it's hitting, and it's hitting it hard. And each like season being a sci-fi mystery makes you just want to binge it for me. And I know some people have a problem with the narrative kind of moving characters to finish their arc too fast, or just kind of making them survive to keep the story alive. You know, it's like, oh, well, these characters survived because the narrative wanted them to, or, you know, we got to get through this point because that's how the arc has to go. And so it kind of like pushes things along that way. But after season 4, I like this whole idea of how everyone's divided and they all have pieces of the puzzle, and it isn't till the end that they kind of come together and put their puzzle pieces together. Like, that's what happened in season 1, where everyone knew a little bit about everything that was going on. Mm-hmm. And the whole time you're like, just talk to each other, or like meet up and explain. I thought that was just fun to see how those puzzle pieces kind of connect. I liked it.
Let me ask you this. Season 4, where do you feel like it ranks in all the seasons?
It's tough because it's been a while. I've only watched 1, 2, and 3 once, and it's when they came out, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's hard to rank them. I don't think I can rank them because they all seem you know.
if you didn't rank them though, let me ask this. Like, at the end of each season, did you feel like, okay, I've moved forward a little bit? Like, I feel like each step of the way was the right choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think sometimes it felt like in a video game, when you have a sequel, you have to like zero your hero out again. You know, like you kind of have to start at, like, we have to depower them.
Totally.
We have to depower them. We have to like set things back to one. It can kind of have that feeling sometimes, but things are still happening in the background that kind of, you know, allows for that reset. I like what they bring every season, and I think it's just like a good popcorn fun. You know, I guess I would say that, and it is a fun event to like be a part of. I mean, you know, last night Sarah was like, "We're only going to watch because there's 2 episodes. We're only going to watch the last episode, the second to last episode, and then the last episode, because the last episode was 2 hours and 45 minutes, and the first and the second to last episode was an hour and a half, hour 40. So that's like 4 hours of shit,
bro.
We ended up watching the whole thing. And we were staying up all night watching both of these long ass content just because it like pulled us in. We didn't want to leave. That's what it does. It makes you not want to leave, for me, you know? So I don't know. I like it. I think it's fun. And yeah, man, you should watch it too.
Okay. All right. I tell you what, since you're going through all this trouble of playing God of War, all right, We'll do it
when Stranger Things season 5 comes out. When we hear the news date, like when it's like, here's the release date, we can plan it out, because they haven't even they haven't scripted it out yet. Season 5, they're taking a break.
Yeah, I read that they're going to start like writing in August.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Which I love.
Just writing it. You know what I mean?
So we got some time. You know, it'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I wanted to ask you. I saw a poll. It was probably, I think it was IGN or something. On Instagram or Twitter, was talking about how and I'm only speaking about like what I've read from the internet, like I don't watch the show, how like the first season, couple seasons, like these are like these faceless demons, like the Demogorgons, and then there was like that little like hand thing in the sky,
the mind flayer,
and then tell me more. And then apparently like there's who's the new villain, like Vecna.
Vecna.
Vecna. And how that's like a humanized villain.
Yes.
Like he talks a lot and this and that. Like, how do you feel about that was the question that was being posed on the internet, was like going from a scary, spooky, like, ooh, I don't know, to like a humanized villain.
I think it seems like the right route to go. You know what I mean? How can you keep being ambiguous when you're hitting at season 4?
Sure.
And you need a little bit
there's so much.
Yeah, you need some variance. And I think having a more of an intellectual villain can kind of suck the air out of that mystery and of like that ominousness. But I think they did a good job of matching him up with some of the characters, you know, where when there is a face off, you do feel like I did get excited when they faced off and they were like, yeah, fuck you, Vecna, you know?
Dude, tell me about, we were talking about the Kate Bush song earlier. What episode does that come up in?
I think
how far into season 4?
I will say, I think maybe 2.
Whoa. Oh, that's early.
Yeah, I think in 2 you hear it like it's like a tease, you know, where it just kind of, you hear it and you kind of like, oh, there's that song, and then it comes back again. And yeah, I mean, it does stay in the show, but it's interesting. I once you guys see it, I will have another question I want to pose to you guys. But but yeah, no, it makes its presence known pretty early in the show. Yeah, I don't know. And besides that, I play God of War. What else am I doing? I missed Miss Marvel this week, so I couldn't talk about that. But I know Ed, since he's out of commission, he said he was going to binge Miss Marvel. So next week is the season finale of Miss Marvel. So me and Ed will probably talk about that. I don't know, Miguel, if you binge it, then we can all talk. But Either way, we'll talk about it, but don't worry about it. Don't stress out about it, because next week we're going to talk about Thor, Love and Thunder. I'm actually going to go see the movie tomorrow. I'm trying to get myself an AMC, or tomorrow. I guess this episode comes out Friday, so I saw it yesterday, but today's Wednesday, so I'm going to see it on Thursday, 9 o'clock at the IMAX, and I'm trying to get myself one of those popcorn themed Mjolnir cases where it looks like Mjolnir and it's just like shaped like it, like the hammer. I'm rushing. I'm saying, babe, we got to get to the movie theaters early so I can get this popcorn like case. You know,
it cannot sell out. That will ruin the experience.
If it sells out, you know what? Why did you order more? Like, come on. I'm there the first night at 9 o'clock. Are you telling me that you don't have enough of those goddamn Mjolnir popcorns? I'm already arguing.
Damn.
Like, I am worried. I'm thinking that they're not going to have it.
I will say this. It's blowing my mind how many times you text us and you're like, oh, I'm about to see the movie at 9 o'clock at night. Dude, I cannot live that life, dude. At 9 o'clock, I'm like, it's 9:30 where I'm at right now. I'm like, oof, I gotta get in bed. You know what I mean?
Dude, my adrenaline pumps up and I'm like, I'm ready for this shit. If I could, sometimes I try to take an opportunity to just watch it during the day at 3:30.
Yeah. I love it.
Well, mostly because I want to I want no spoilers, from the internet. I like to
absolutely
go in there and half the internet still hasn't seen it, and then a very small exclusive amount of people have seen it. You know what? I hate it when they put reviews out too early. I've been seeing reviews and I feel like it's already spoiling things for me. I don't know. I can complain. I'm going to complain about this every single time about early reviews.
I am excited about this movie, and one of the things I'm excited about, I feel like I got a little bit spoiled on because of reviews coming out so early.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, we'll see. But I'm hyped. I'm hyped, especially for Christian Bale. I want to see what he does.
I am hyped. I'm trying to lower my expectations. I don't want to get too excited for it. But here he's supposed to be really good. And I loved Hela, Cate Blanchett, and Ragnarok. So I don't know. But Christian Bale's good. He'll do a good job. But I'm excited about that. We're going to talk about that next week. Hopefully I'll come back with my Mjolnir popcorn. Hey, also sneak peek. Next week I'm working on a Lego Thor set. Ooh! In the words of Miguel, ooh-wee. So yeah, catch us in next week. We're talking Thor, Love and Thunder, starring Natalie Portman, and that's it. No, of course, Chris Hemsworth, Christian Bale, all those guys. And yeah, I don't know. That's it, Miguel. You got anything else to say to these folks?
Bro, subscribe, review, follow us on all socials at Punch Drunk
Yes,
Nerd.
give us those 5 stars on the Apple Podcast, please. We're trying to get in people's ears, trying to get that money, trying to get to see IMAX screenings for the love of Jeebus. But until next time, ladies and folks, I've been Luis Gonzalez, and with me, of course, has been
Miguel Sanchez.
Until next time, later, Gators. And then Ed says, later, Gators. And then transition to music.